Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone? Oh, I hope I did this in 4K. Anyway, but I saw that I didn't press the button. How is everyone? It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. I usually do this video on Mondays, this live video, but there was a lot of things that was happening to me personally, but we don't have to get into that actually. Just understand that this is normally a Monday video, but I still wanted to put this out here for you guys. As Mercury enters Libra, we are going to discuss how this is going to affect you, how this is going to affect the political people who are running, Kamala and Trump. Also, P.diddy is now added on to this list, but Mercury, while it's in the sign Libra, it will square Mars in Cancer. And that is the same exact day that Mars is pre-shadow retrograding in the sign Cancer. So we will discuss that. This alignment, this aspect may predict emotional upheavals and unexpected challenges in new relationships, potentially triggering reactions rooted in some unresolved feelings with that Cancer attribute. Additionally, Mercury is going to square Pluto in Capricorn, and this of course can suggest some power struggles and some significant statements because we're dealing with Mercury, okay, from positions of authority or maybe even the government. We'll see how that plays out as I get into this video. This aspect could predict some intensity with confrontations or maybe some revelations, highlighting issues of control, maybe even some transformative themes, especially for the collective people. So yes, you guys, stay tuned, and we're also going to do horoscopes. I'm going to pull tarot. I got all the tea for Mercury in the sign Libra, which is happening today. Anyone who is watching and who knows me personally, I just had vertigo. I've never had vertigo before in my life. It was very, very intense. I do not wish it on my worst enemy, but I am feeling better. I do have some trauma. If you don't know what vertigo is that you get dizzy. Trust me, I looked up the astrology. I could barely even look at a screen, let alone look at the astrology. If you see in my last video, which I just put up today, which is the P.diddy video, it's very detailed because I did have time to research. I was coherent mentally, but vertigo is when everything's so dizzy. It was insane. Anyway, okay. I will, especially this weekend, research that and how that happened in astrology. I'm not that well educated in medical astrology, but I know enough. Okay. Anyway, so if you have some questions on that, we will get the tea. If you want to know anything about medical astrology, it is back in the day, people used to do that. You would go visit a doctor who also practiced astrology. It went hand in hand. I mean, they probably practice nutrition too. Doctors don't do that. Now they just medicate you. Anyway, okay, so immediately I want to talk about the current events. Okay, so let me add it to the stage here and see who do we have. Where is this? Where is this? I got too many windows open. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first story I want to address is the NYC mayor, y'all. What is he? You know, I knew it was some rumblings. I just was not paying attention to it at all. I follow stories, but I don't really follow stories. Okay, I'm trying to see what's the best. Do we? Okay, whatever. We're gonna chill, Danyell. Okay. So let's get into the story here. If you don't know anything about this, you're talking about the mayor of New York City is told to sit down. Remove yourself, okay? His name is Mayor Eric Adams, and he had an indictment against him, and it is unsealed. It was sealed yesterday. I think I even saw him say, I haven't done anything. They have nothing on me ever since I've been talking about the immigrants, illegal immigrants, okay? Not immigrants, I shouldn't say that, but illegal immigrants. Then we've been having some issues. I feel like because this is a square here, you're not seeing me evenly when I'm doing this. Anyway, yeah, so let's see what we have. Thursday morning alleges he secretly solicited and accepted freebies and illegal campaign donations from wealthy foreigners, including Turkish officials, as far back as 2014. I do believe, this is me not knowing anything. I don't know anything about this. I'm very ignorant, but we'll get into the astrology about this. I do believe that anytime you're dealing with government officials, a lot of them have Pisces placements, 12th house placements, which means a lot of secrets, even Scorpio placements. So a lot of secrets, could be some corruptions with that too. In exchange, he pressured the fire department of New York to approve the opening of a new Turkish consular building in the city without a fire inspection. Okay, so he's done some shady stuff. He's received some gifts, it looks like. Okay, let me see. Oh, look at this. Oh, not the whole thing, just on here for us to read. Adams, a Democrat elected in 2021, has denied wrongdoings and said he does not plan to resign. I look forward to defending myself and defending the people of the city as I've done throughout my entire professional career. Okay, well, but someone has found some tea on him. Okay, so let me just explain this real quick. Okay, if you do not know, Pluto is in the sign Capricorn. Okay, Pluto is retrograding. Is it currently retrograding in the sign Capricorn? Let me see. Let me go to. Now, Pluto is currently retrograding in the sign Capricorn. And what does that mean? Without even looking at this guy's chart, I do want you to understand that a lot of corporations, a lot of businesses, companies, infrastructures, government as well, because that's what Capricorn represent. And Pluto is going to investigate, is going to get all the secrets out of there. Not only if it's going to investigate, it's going to get the dirt and get the skeletons out the closet. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. If you know any Scorpio people, for the most part, if they have strong Scorpio energy, then they are great investigators and are very suspicious, and that's what Pluto is doing. So now Pluto in the sign Capricorn, the business, Pluto in the sign Capricorn, not just the business, but corporations and government. Hold on, let me on live right now. They are going to investigate the government. So hence, we have this guy, Mayor, stepping down. That is Pluto in Capricorn. I don't have to look at his chart to know. Now, I wonder if this started when it was in the sign originally, because it's retrograding. So it was in the sign Aquarius, and now it's like, okay, let's go back. I don't know if you guys can hear the vacuum. They're cleaning the hallways where I live. But let's go back and get this guy. So now it's got its unfinished business. This is unfinished business. There was some probing in him before, and I'm not saying it's true or not true. When this gets deeper, I will look into this further, but for now, I just want you to understand that he's not the only one that stepped down. A lot of people who were under him stepped down too. Now, this is also in correlation to Mr. P.diddy. Okay, I got something for him. I mean, because now he is a staple. Okay, I got a little banner for Mr. P.diddy. So wait, this way, a little banner for Mr. P.diddy. So this also goes with P.diddy, and not just P.diddy himself, but the business side of P.diddy. Once Pluto started retrograding in a sign Capricorn, you had all these people falling off. You had the guy who was in charge of, I don't know the music labels, but apparently it was like 3 people who stepped down. And the same thing is going with this mayor guy. Okay. So that is what we have for that story. I'll get back to P. Diddy a little bit later. I want to also talk about this story. Okay. This story here is Israel. I don't think I did this in the last live. Okay. I don't remember, but Israel, I don't know if this is a bias website. So you guys forgive me if this is insulting anyone. I do not intend to do this. I just quickly grabbed the first website. Israel planted explosives in Hezbollah. Taiwan's made pagers, says sources. So if you guys don't know, if you've been living under a rock, apparently Israel, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but someone set a bunch of people up with pagers and they all exploded at the same time. Talk about great planning. Okay. They all exploded at the same time. And Yeah, and apparently the people were like working for the government. I don't really know much about, like, I didn't even know where Isabella was. Okay. But I will explain to you what I do know is astrology. Okay. The senior Lebanese security source said the group had ordered 5,000 pagers made by Taiwan based Gold Apollo, which several sources say were bought into the country earlier this year. This is a great, I mean, and my heart goes out to anyone who was injured, but I mean, talk about a brilliant plan. This was like, it's crazy. It's kind of like 9/11, but I'm kind of not feeling 9/11. I feel like that's a little sus, but okay. Anyway, so let me just pull up the chart here for this, because this takes some chart looking. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put my chart in it. Ooh, who's from the hood? Who knows it? Okay, anyway. Okay, so let me see. Actually, I have a chart just for this. And okay, this chart needs to be bigger. Bigger. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so let me basically say, I looked at this quickly. I actually looked at this right before I started this video. And actually there was something else I want to look, let me put on my note. So I won't forget to tell you. Okay. Anyway, so here we have this pager attack. I looked up the exact time and the location of the pager attack. It happened Thursday, and then a leader of Hezbollah, his name is Hassan Nasrallah. Sorry, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. He says he accused Israel of breaking all conventions and laws and red lines, and the retribution will come. I have no historical knowledge of what is going on here. I'm thinking this has something to do with Palestinians, and I don't know. I'm just letting you know I'm 100% ignorant, but I do know astrology. Okay. Now the pagers began exploding around 3:30. And so that is the time that I have here, 3:30 p.m. And 14 hours after, no, not after. It's a few hours before, I think it was 14, a few hours before we had the eclipse. Okay. So if I look up the eclipse, let me pull this up. Yeah. Oh, in my time. Let me see. Previous eclipse on the 18th. Okay. So September 18th. So this is after. Okay. September 18th, we had an eclipse. Let me actually show this. I hope this doesn't confuse anyone. This is the pager attack, and this is the eclipse. Now, if you see, the eclipse is conjunct this Neptune here, which could represent some depths and some secrets, okay, and a lot of confusion. And this is well, I can take this off. I just want you to know that that is part of the eclipse. Neptune is a big part. So you can see it here. But Neptune is a big part because this is actually 25 degrees. But before the eclipse even happened, you see that it's sitting close to the government or some officials or something that is in secret. Now, this also, Pisces, can represent religion, just so you know. Now, the moon was conjunct Saturn, and then it starts to ease on closer to the eclipse in Neptune. And also you have this that is getting it's opposing Mercury. I don't know why I can't speak, why that's hard for me to say. But this Pisces thing here is really going to represent death. Okay. And usually when I look at bombs, I look at this here, and I'm pretty sure I look at this, and what else do I look at? Uranus. Okay. But I'm pretty sure that this has something connected. This here, or Uranus, has some, and Uranus is retrograding, which is always kind of shady, but there's something connected with Israel's chart, if Israel did do this, and also something connected with Isbola. But this is not Isbola's chart. This is just the time of the event. But what is very interesting, that this is opposing this Neptune of delusions and lies and secret, is opposing Mercury, which Mercury is in charge of pagers, communication, keeping in touch with each other. Okay. But yes, but I'm pretty sure if I looked up their chart, and sometimes that's a little difficult for me because I have to make sure that it is the place, that location is correct. is the right country. I had to find this. The stuff like that. Being an astrologer is not that easy, especially when you have to find the chart information yourself. Just, no excuses. But what I do want you to let you know that this was, I believe in things that are predestined. God put the stuff out here. And this was already, people will call me whenever I'm on live. That's when they decide to call me. But this was very interesting. And this was really also a connection with the eclipse. Now, I do want you to know, because this eclipse here is a Pisces eclipse, and Pisces represent deception. Pisces represents endings. So I'm not sure if people died with this pager attack. Do you guys know if people died with this pager attack? I mean, because it 5,000 pagers. That's a lot of little bombs going around. I'm pretty sure the source says 3,000 of the pagers exploded. So 3,000 exploded when the coded message was sent to them exactly at the same time. Neither Israel nor Gold Apollo immediately responded. Images of the destroyed pagers. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, and they're showing, yeah, okay, too much to read. I should have pre-read this, but I just want you to understand that. Okay, so that is what we have for Isbola. Now, let me quickly talk about, okay, so previously in a video, I talked about Mercury when it was going in the sign. Actually, let me put this up here. I talked about Mercury when it was going in the sign Virgo and how that would affect Kamala, right? So let me pull up Kamala's chart and let me pull up Mercury's chart. So when Mercury before, because Mercury today has entered Libra, which we're talking about today, but when Mercury is in this fourth house, I said to everyone, and I want you to understand that Mercury in the fourth house for Kamala, there is going to be probably some research on her history, her ancestry, her mom, her background, because that's what that fourth house has done. And Candace Owens has went big. Okay. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, or, watch the videos if you want to, but I just want you to understand that this was already going to be discussed. Now, you are talking about it's moving into Libra, and I'll tell you what that means. But Candace Owens has went back and really in detail researched her background history. Now that it's leaving her fourth house, but mind you, she has still placements in the fourth house. So this discussion is going to be continuously discussed for her. Continuously discussed, because she has a personal planet and some big planets, and when these other planets start touching that, that's going to keep coming back for her, just so you know. But yeah, so that's what happened when Mercury entered. Let me see what's next. You do have the moon, you have Mars that was soon. I mean, this will be a while from now because Mars is going to be retrograding, but when Mars hits that, there'll probably be some issues again with her and her heritage, talking about Kamala, right? Okay, so I didn't want to forget that tidbit. I want to make sure that you guys understand that there's predictions that I'm saying, okay? There's some accuracy, not even some, there's accuracy with it. Now, I want to talk about P. Diddy's arrest real quick, and I did do a video on this. So everyone, go ahead and check out that video. It's very detailed. I talked about if he's guilty. I talked about the timeline of everything. I tied it to astrology. I did a tarot spread for him. It is very, very detailed. So you guys watch it. But I do want to mention that we are talking about Mercury going in the sign Libra, and he has a lot of Libra placements. And every time we had that Libra in eclipse, it affected him. I did even point out that when we had the Libra eclipse back in 2005 or 6, that is the day that he met Cassie, or maybe his first date. So Libra stuff really affects him. He has a Venus in Libra. It is conjunct Jupiter in Libra. That is huge. That makes, a lot of things far as his clothing line, aesthetics. I'm surprised. I mean, he did have a restaurant. I'm surprised that wasn't big, but you never know. Maybe it was big back in the day and I didn't pay attention. But that not only makes those aesthetics, things of aesthetics big for P. Diddy, but it also makes it huge, huge, huge for law. And now Mercury is going to go in the sign Libra. So just like how Mercury was in the fourth house for Kamala, and people are researching her ancestry and her background. And also she talked about her mom a lot too, Kamala. I watched a few of her speeches. I mean, endless discussions of her mom. And I said that would be happening. Anyway, Now you are going to get more news for P.diddy. And should I show actually his chart? I said I gotta stop being lazy. Let me see. Diddy show his chart here. And let me put this back up. So now that, wow, I'm like, where the chart at? So now that what's going to happen is, you see Mercury is here, and as of today, this Mercury is going to enter Libra, and then when it enter, ignore the house because we don't have its birth time, but all the sun, the Mercury, all that is going to get and touch these planets. This is going to be some unexpected news coming up for P. Diddy, maybe something with social media, maybe something with this airplane that I also discussed that went his private jet. But there is something that's going to come big with that coming up, if it hasn't already. We already know that the stories are all over the place, but maybe there's a huge surprise even coming again. On top of that, then you have this law in this court happening when this all goes there. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the actual court dates. So we will see. That's around October 9th. At the same time, more investigation happens for him when Mercury enters Scorpio, and Mercury enters Scorpio on October 12th, and then it starts touching more personal planets for him, and then Scorpio season affects him as well. So this is going to be endless amount of energy, and even towards the end of Scorpio season, it touches that Neptune, and I really think those are when the secrets are going to come out for P. Diddy. And I discuss more. If you're not sick of P. Diddy, I discuss more. So like around November 18th, it could be a little bit before that. So it could be like maybe around here, November 13th, more secrets, because this is representing the secrets are going to be coming out for P. Diddy. Okay, so let me just tell you what we have here. Okay, I remember I do this on Mondays, and I could not do this Monday because I was having vertigo issues, but now I am here, bigger and better. Okay, now these are the weekly transits, and I'm going to start with today, which is Mercury in the sign, entering the sign Libra. Also on the 29th, I just want to quickly tell you the sun will oppose the nodes, north node, and it would conjunct the south node. So there needs to be a balance between the self and others. And this is on the 29th. There's challenges with aligning maybe with your life purpose, what you're meant to do in this lifetime, relationship with the self, and relationship and releasing some relationships, finding a middle ground between that two. That is going to happen that day. Also that day, Mars in the sign Cancer is going to try Saturn in the sign Pisces. So emotional discipline and focus, building stable foundations, being productive, because that's what that sun is, especially with Saturn and long-term goals, and having building some foundations with that and being productive. Okay, so productive use of emotional energy, because you are dealing with Cancer and you're dealing with feelings. Saturn is the father of time, so you have patience and endurance. It's very positive. If you are doing this already, then that is great for you. And let me see, I think that is what we have for this week. Oh, on the 30th, what do we have? Mercury in Libra is going to conjunct the sun in Libra. So this is going to be big clarity when it comes to relationships or justice or fairness and aesthetics. Okay, you will probably be discussing it, maybe something in the news far as relationships or couples or something with law, legal, fairness, aesthetics. Libra also represents friends, social life, and fun. So maybe huge conversations, because we're dealing with Mercury, but this is a Kazemi. So huge conversations as well with harmony and social events, because this is also representing social activities. Okay, so that is what we have for the week. But now I really want to get into Mercury in the sign Virgo and what this means for us. Let me First of all, let me just explain what Libra means. And it's like I feel like I'm doing a double class because I've discussed Libra so much in the P.diddy video. But Libra is representing aesthetics, is representing harmony, is representing laws, is representing contracts, marriages, any kind of relationships. Your relationship with a therapist. It's not a solo singular thing. It's dealing with people in a team. It can be a team as well. Definitely law, fairness. Did I say that already? Okay, so I think I said contracts too. So that is what we have mostly for Libra. You know, there's grace and there's charm too. A lot of socializing. Ooh, senses, because Venus is the ruler of Libra, and so I'm talking about great smells. Oh yeah, and also when it's Libra season and now Mercury is going to be in Libra, then you're doing the pumpkins and buying the candle scents and making a home very fall pretty kind of thing. Okay. And Mars is in the sign Cancer, and it's not retrograding yet, but Mars in Cancer means people are fixing their home up. Let me know if you know anyone who's fixing their home. And we just got our kitchen done, so that is Mars in Cancer. And when you have this Libra, now it's not just fixing it, but making it look pretty. Okay. Anyway, so, but when you have Mercury entering Cancer, it's going to be balance and diplomatic communication, focus on relationships and social interactions, seeing multiple perspectives, because Libra enhances your ability to see situations from different viewpoints. We'll get into the negative side of that, but the positive side is that the sign is known to be able to weigh the options. That's why you have the scales happening. There's harmony in thought and speech, decision making, and maybe a little indecision, right? Because people are indecisive when the Mercury is in Libra, because they're weighing all the options and they can't decide what option to take. Also, that can make people become procrastinators, and they avoid any conflict. That is what happens. You know, Mars in Libra makes it worse, but Mercury in Libra makes you not want to verbally have a confrontation. So look out for that. This starts today. People pleasing and lack of assertiveness happens when Mercury is in Libra. Superficial communication. Oh my gosh, your hair, your nails, I like that though. Miscommunication and understandings, because the desire of to please everyone and maintain balance can lead to mixed messages and not being very clear. So be aware of that when this happens. Also, challenges in relationships. You could be having arguments with relationships, arguments with contracts, arguments with law, anything that is dealing with justice. Also is Mercury in the sign Libra. Superficial decision making, being vulnerable, being manipulated, because Mercury in Libra focuses on that diplomatic energy and can make you vulnerable to be influenced or manipulated by others who are charming and who are flattering and could sway options. Watch out for Trump, because Mercury in Libra is in his third house. We'll get into that a little bit later. And I'm not saying saying don't vote for Trump. I'm just saying he's going to be a little bit more charming. Okay. Misuse of persuasive skills can happen too. You want to set some clear boundaries, not boundaries, priorities. Focus on what truly matters to you. Don't get lost in the sauce of Libra-ness. Okay. Practice being assertive. If you are not assertive, this is going to make it worse. If you are assertive, you're going to feel a little off. Okay. Because I am a very assertive person. I have a Mercury in Leo. So I am very I voice what I have to say, but this is going to make you not as assertive. So seek some depth in communication. Maybe read some deep books to make this off kilter kind of energy. Okay, but at the same time, this is a great time to strengthen some relationships and consider multiple perspectives, especially if you are closed-minded. Maybe express things with grace is going to be in your favor. Okay, so let's talk about the aspects. We're going to talk about how Mercury is going to affect everyone and what this is going to look like in the sky. Let me move P.diddy out of the way. Okay. Now, first on the 29th. Okay, on the 29th, Mercury is going to conjunct the South Node here at 6 degrees. And when you have that, thinking about releasing what no longer serves you, or maybe there is communication more from people in your past relationships can be happening. Okay, this aspect brings a focus on past communications with relationships, some unresolved issues that need to be addressed. There might be a need to release outdated ways of thinking, speaking, or relating to others. This is a time for introspection and on how your past choices, because you are dealing with choices with that Libra, or options or partnerships or legal matters, have influenced your current situation. Okay, but it's going to oppose that North Node, and the North Node is what you're supposed to be achieving in this lifetime. So while it's sitting there touching this, it will be opposing this. And the things that you're supposed to achieve in this lifetime, you may not have the assertiveness. So it's like, oh, I don't want to, I want to tiptoe, which what we discussed, what Libra does. And you need to focus on your future, and you're not thinking about yourself and your future. So that could be a conflict that could be happening. Okay. So, with this transit, which is going to happen around the 29th, it could be happening now. You could be feeling it now. Learn to prioritize your voice. Okay. Assert your opinions. Focus on personal growth, because this is about the self, that Aries energy, and seek some balance. Now, on the 30th, which, let me see what we have here. Hello. Hi. Yes, I am taking questions. Go ahead and write any questions. If you want me to do any readings for you, I can do that. Orca. Okay. Now on, okay. So on the 17th, we have this Kazemi, and this is what I kind of discussed a little bit earlier. And this Kazemi is going to be on Monday. And when you have the Kazemi, you have, okay, so it's a powerful moment. Like, it can really bring some clarity, okay? And maybe realization when it comes to partnerships, who you are with, maybe a sudden realization, particularly in agreement or balance or something. If you are doing something with law, or you are have a contract that you have to sign with a loved one, collaborations, also anything with beauty or aesthetics, this is going to make it bigger and bigger. Also, you still have this energy here, and it's still conjunct this South Node here, which is about releasing some relationships. So this Libra energy is going to be big for a lot of people. This is really going to affect the Libra people who have Libra placements, Cancers, and Capricorns. Okay. Now, this is also going to affect some Aries, because it's like you can't see eye to eye with what is going on. Now, that is the Kazemi. It's going to bring clarity for a lot of people, just so you know. Now, the eclipse, which will be happening on the 2nd, is also involving this Mercury energy. Okay. And Mercury and the eclipse, whatever the drama is in releasing some relationships or law, and this is also affecting P.diddy, which I've discussed probably several times, but because Mercury is involved, that means it's in the news and it's bigger than ever. Okay. So all the law things may be more public, may be out there, maybe be discussed bigger than ever. Huge discussions on closing something out. This is the last Libra eclipse. Okay. And it's something with the South Node. So that means it's got to be released and let go. And that something is dealing with Libra aspects, which I talked about earlier, something with law, something with relationships, something with aesthetics. Okay. Could be something that's very charming and graceful as well. But this is the last one. We've been here before, and now this is a doozy. This is really going to close something out. You should be feeling this already. If you haven't, you're going to feel it in the next few months coming up. Okay. This year's solar event will occur. Okay. I said that. New beginnings, bright new opportunities as well. Okay. Let me see what else I have. A Libra is an air sign, and it's a cardinal sign. So that could be some new beginnings. Cardinal signs always about bringing something new. Air signs is very social, and there's communication, there's intellect. It focuses on social connections. Any air sign, okay? So you have that, and it's also about the intellect. So decision making. A lot of Libras don't really come off as intelligent, but there is an intellectual part because they are sitting there making decisions. So yeah, cooperation, compromising, equality, indecisiveness, romance, being poised, refinement, intellectual, social gatherings, a party. This could also be dealing with any open enemies. Maybe there's some clarity and you're releasing. Maybe there's forgiveness with this. Okay. I do also want to say that Libra is dealing with bedrooms too, the boudoir, and divorces. Okay. So that is what we have for the eclipse. Let me see. I did a whole video on the eclipse. By the way, I should probably make it a singular because it's involving both eclipse, the eclipse we just had and this eclipse coming up. So I think I'll make it its own video. Now, October 7th, Mercury is going to trine Jupiter in a sign Gemini, so this is air, air. A lot of communication. Trine is very positive on the 7th. This is a favorable aspect for communication, learning, expanding your perspectives. It's a great time for sharing ideas. If you're into teaching, traveling, engaging in intellectual stimulation when it comes to communicating. Very, very positive. If you are socializing that day, go ahead and socialize big. That is going to work out really good for you. Now, when we move on to the 11th, Mercury is going to quincunx. Let me see. Neptune. No, I'm sorry. Uranus. It's going to quincunx both. Okay, it's going to quincunx Uranus and Neptune. So, when it quincunx Uranus, there's some surprises that's being said or communicated. Uranus could represent social media and it's making you uncomfortable. There is a disruption in some plans. There may be a need for being flexible and adaptable. You definitely have to do that because there's some information that is coming your way and you're not quite comfortable with it. Okay. Now, Mercury being quincunx Neptune, this could be some secrets or some misunderstandings or some confusion or deceptive communication happening. Okay, so make sure you just double check any information, avoid making assumptions. There could be also a tendency to misinterpret someone's intentions. Also, there could be some like brainwashing. Neptune could be a little bit like rose colored lens energy, especially in the sign of Pisces. So be aware of like falling for something. At the same day, Mercury is going to square Pluto as it eases on, but you start to feel it then. Let me see. Yeah, because Mercury moves fast. So you start to feel it on the 12th, okay, maybe even before that, right? So when Mercury is going to square Pluto, its intensity, whenever you have Pluto, you're talking about power control, struggles, again, manipulation, secrets, okay, being obsessed with someone. This could be jealousy as well. So when you have maybe a jealous partner, a jealous business partner, jealousy with the law, yes, okay, there could be some deep conversations happening, but it's confrontational and it's very controlling. Okay, there's an authority dynamic happening with this placement and maybe within a relationship. Okay, so be aware of that, and maybe it's like someone wants to have this surface level conversation and someone wants to be deep, and that's a challenge. Okay, squares are very challenging. Now Mercury will enter the next day, it will enter Scorpio. So that's a whole nother video. But I do want to mention before it enters Scorpio, it will be at 29 degrees. I'm trying not to say okay, but it will be at 29 degrees. That's a potent degree. Looks like that happens in the morning, October 13th. So there's going to be a sense of urgency to close something out regarding everything Libra. So regarding an aesthetics, regarding partnerships, regarding something with law or contract or that divorce, there's going to be an urgency to close it out, maybe need to resolve it, finalize something. Yeah, so be aware of that. Just urgency in communication with decision making. Maybe like I need to make this decision. That could be happening at the same time you're dealing with that square aspect with Pluto, okay, which is at 29 degrees, and it's got that urgency with the government. Let's see too how this plays out with who I talked about earlier, that mayor of New York City, because he has some issues currently with this, and it's clear that that is Pluto and Capricorn. Okay. So that is what we have for Mercury in Libra. Now I'm going to get into Kamala. We're going to get into Trump, how that affects them. And then we'll get into the horoscopes, okay? But before that, we need a word from my sponsor. Hello there, my beautiful souls. I am Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Are you ready to take your spiritual journey to the next level? Introducing Danyell's Astro Tarot Elite Club, your exclusive getaway to daily insights, cosmic guidance, and so much more for just $4.99 a month. As a member, you'll receive daily readings designed to align your day with the universe's energy. Start each day with clarity and confidence. Do you need a personal reading, or do you want to have your astrology chart read fully? With being a member, you also can enjoy exclusive discounts on all my offerings just for our elite members only, all for just $4.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. Join Danyell's Astro Tarot Elite Club today and elevate your spiritual path. Okay, so now let's talk about Miss Kamala. But first I need to do Yeah, I forgot to play my politics, okay? And now we are getting into Miss Kamala Harris, okay? And we are going to talk about how Mercury entering the sign Libra is going to affect her, okay? Now, Mercury is entering her 5th house, so her campaign and the style of her campaign, let's see how that goes. There's charming energy with this, there's creativity, maybe gearing towards people on a more personal level. The 5th house governs self-expression, creativity, public image. So her words will probably be more inspirational. She'll probably give more hope to people. She might be more engaging. Maybe even talking about families, children's relationships, art, creative, because it does represent that romance, right? The 5th house also is about being on stage. So she's going to be more presidential and more on stage. Also, I do find that this is very presidential house. So we will be getting more of that as a presidential candidate. She may have more of a public appeal. Maybe she'll be more creative with her messaging, effective use of media and social platforms. Maybe it'll look more pretty because we are dealing with this aspect. Also, maybe she will having both of them, Trump and Kamala, will have more discussions with their VP or something with their VP. That would be bigger than ever. Diplomatic, harmonious approach. She's like, I don't want to fight with you, Trump. That would probably be happening. It will probably happen for Trump. Trump has some strong Leo placements, but maybe this will also have that. But there could be an overemphasis of image and performance. Like is it superficial? That could be coming across, okay? Maybe there's a misalignment with some core issues. Like she may, if she's not already, I think it would be worse. She will be avoiding some tough topics, or maybe giving some mixed messages. Maybe there's some missteps, like maybe she's overconfident with her public appearance, because this does give you some confidence. Personal matters may be more in the spotlight because you're talking about everyone's looking at you. You're on stage. This house is a very on stage Leo, everyone look at me kind of aspect, okay? Yeah, so let's see how she is with her public image. People were discussing, which I was saying earlier, about Candace Owens, really going into detail of her background and her ancestry. Now this is going to be about her and her relationships. Maybe the relationships of her husband, maybe that would be really looked upon more. There could be an investigation of that, or whoever she has a relationship with. Let's see, and that could be her VP as well. So yeah, so that is what we have. Now let me get into some aspects and some predictions. Now we do have this eclipse that happens on the 2nd. Also too, she's going to have a solar return coming up, meaning a birthday coming up too on the 20th. But let's get back on track. So on the 2nd, you have this solar return, which should already be affecting her. If not, it may not affect her as much. I'm pretty sure I talked about this, but you're talking about the house of leadership and presidents, and this is the ending of this. And I think this is really like the ending of the relationship of Biden. Maybe that is closed off, but there's new beginning with her public image and her appeal and creativity and leveraging this public persona of her being a woman, her being the first vice president female running. Yeah, but there's something with grace and charm, and maybe there is like closing off this old partnership from this eclipse. These, not all the eclipse affect everyone. I don't know if this really affected her because it's not that close to her personal planets or anything. Let me see. It is quincunx her healing, and some closure there, some secrets that she has. Maybe this eclipse affected that, and maybe something that we won't see, because this is, and it's a little bit off. It needs to be a little bit closer for it to be the quincunx. But for overall, I don't see it affecting her that much. If it did, it's something with relationships. Okay, so we do have that now. As we move on to the 10th of October. The 10th of October, Mercury is trining her ascendant here. Yeah, 24 degrees. This is 25 degrees. And enhanced communication here. Talking more than ever, public appeal, increased visualization, connecting with the public, opportunities to showcase her personal charm, a lot of laughing, a lot of I'm having so much fun running for president, and I'm so confident that is going to happen. Okay, a great time to deliver key messages, also debating, and yeah, being confident with the debates and looking more intellectual. Okay, now at the same time, Mercury is going to quincunx her Jupiter here in the sign Taurus. Now this is 12th house thing, so we may not see what could be going on here. Yeah, we may not see it, but this quincunx is very uncomfortable. Okay, very uncomfortable balance with her public persona, or maybe her inner beliefs, because this is very secretive, or her secret beliefs, that she values, things that she values. Maybe there's some internal conflicts. There's some conflicts, secret, maybe with her private enemies. I'm thinking there's some secret conflicts. We won't be able to see them. No, maybe some secret conflicts with someone she is in business with or in relationship with. It could be her husband, or a secret relationship. I'm just throwing it out there. Careful consideration of personal philosophies and communication. Could be happening. We won't see it though, because we're dealing with 12th house. Now on the 11th of October, and not saying that you don't see things in the 12th house, but when that sun gets in that 12th house, that is when we start to see some things. Okay, we could see some things with Pluto. If Pluto was in there, there is some unexpected surprises that could be happening. That still may not be something we see. I find that when Pluto gets in a dark place and when the sun gets in a dark place, it brings a lot of light and we can see it. Anyway, on the 11th, let me see what we have for Miss Kamala on the 11th. Oh, okay. On the 11th, the kind of like a Kazemi, Mercury is going to be on top of her sun. Powerful self-expression, right? Now she's really talking about leadership and how she is a female, because Libra could represent female, but there's clear communication, unlike what I just did. Increased visibility, impact on maybe her being a creative leader, because this does represent creativity, a strong sense of purpose and identity. Huge, huge, huge. I am who I am. This is who I am. Maybe really producing things with her words, because the sun really knows how to produce things. Okay, so that's a great time for her. It gets good for her. I don't see it being negative, but maybe, because conjuncts are strong and it could be negative or positive. So if it was negative, maybe this is too much information. We're not dealing with Jupiter, but maybe there's something that's discussed regarding her relationship with someone, a relationship with a business partner, relationship with her VP. That could be happening on the negative side, or her husband. Okay. Also, too, I still think that when Mercury is in these houses, because we could see here, it was investigation of her past. There could be an investigation on her husband. That could be happening. She is running for president. This is what people do. Now, October 12th, we are moving to, let me see. Oh, wait. Oh, this is positive. So Mercury is going to trine her Saturn in Aquarius in that ninth house. So clear and disciplined communication. She's really thinking about long term. She's saying things about the long term, ability to articulate complex ideas and clarity and authority, strong focus on some philosophical visions, okay? Things that are different. Me being a female, that's Aquarius energy. Yeah, so that is definitely happening. Now, I know I did a video on Kamala. I'm pretty sure I did a video and I broke down her chart a little bit. I do want you to understand that this Saturn in Aquarius, okay, this is my moon in Scorpio talking to you. And what that means is that I get a little suspicious, okay? From what I understand, anytime a planet retrogrades, from my experience of reading charts and from getting to know people and asking questions, and I was told when I first learned astrology, like the retrogrades doesn't mean anything in a natal chart. Oh boy, but when you're doing predictive astrology, it means a lot. And I find that the retrogrades are like a tarot card in reverse. If you don't understand, let me explain. Like this card in the upright, very positive. In the upright, in the reverse, it's not. It's not working like it should. You know, when Mercury retrogrades, is not working like it should. So then when you have Saturn retrograding in the sign Aquarius, it means that yes, she is a female president, but there's also something of power and long-term goal or structure. There's someone in power who's different, and there's something affecting her and her philosophy. Okay. Whatever I'm trying to articulate it. Okay. Saturn represents limits and control. It can also represent this boss that we may not know about, okay? Because anyone can have a boss and we may not know who their boss is, okay? An older mentor, an elder mentor as well. This what can represent. Now you have that and you have it in Aquarius. Aquarius means that it's different. So also like, you know, she could be liking, attracted to older men who are different or who are very intelligent. However, it's retrograding. So it's like, you shouldn't be with that man. Or you shouldn't be working for that government, or you shouldn't be working for that authority, okay? Because it's retrograding. Just so you know, that is something that I'm very suspicious of whenever I see that when we are doing charts. Okay. Now let me see what else I have. Yeah, so that's what we have overall for Miss Kamala. Overall, I do want to say Mercury in Libra, you're talking about public speeches, media appearances, social media campaigns, and it's going to showcase, and she's probably going to come off more confident. At the same time, a lot of superficial talk, maybe her public image, her looking confident is laughing and avoiding some major topics here, major campaign announcements. Maybe she's unveiling a new initiative to highlight her being a leader, because this is the house of leadership. There's policy discussions, detailed presentations, intellectual debates happens more in the middle of October for her. So that's what we have for Kamala. Let's move on to Mr. Trump, shall we? Mm-hmm. Let's see what Donald Trump has for us. Okay. Now, Mr. Trump, his is moving in the third house. Like, we don't. Okay, I do have to give a disclaimer that I love, okay, Gemini energy, okay? So I love people who talk, 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 talk. This is why I stopped doing social media, because I'm like, I talk too much. I talk too long. I cannot to have a Mars in Gemini. I cannot do this short-term content, even though you would think that would be short, this Gemini. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is, see, even that is too long with too much information. What I'm trying to say is, I love Gemini people, Gemini placements. He is a Gemini sun. He tickles me to no end. When he gives his speeches and it's off cuff and it's authentic, I am here for it. I am watching it. I've watched a lot of Kamala interviews and I'm a snorefest, okay? I am aware of what she's saying. At the same time, he tickles me. He entertains me, okay? So I just have to give that disclaimer. So when I see him, I laugh. But with this said, now let me pull up his chart. It even gets worse, okay? Because now Trump is got this Mars in, it was coming from the second house. He was talking about things of value. Now it's sitting in here in his third house. Now this is going to be a big doozy for him because it's touching some big planets here. But in the third house is all about communication. So if I was about to say the fool, No, he's not a fool. Okay. But Donald Trump in the third house is going to be more focused on communication than ever. So that means I am going to be more entertained. Okay. I'm talking about media presence, public relations, strategic messaging, the social media, the interviews, the debates. It's going to get bigger. Okay. And speeches, campaign messages, is going to amplify his ability to communicate, to connect with the public, and very fast energy, Gemini. And I say Gemini because the third house is, there's a correlation with this Gemini energy. Now, he could be also talking about community, a lot of things based in a community of some sort, whatever he deems of community, a lot of discussions. I don't know if he has siblings, but maybe there is siblings talk because this represents sibling. This also represents early education. So he could be now focusing on early education for a lot of people. Okay. Yeah, but a lot of strategic thinking, enhanced communication, and increased public engagement. Okay. This could be good, this could be bad. We will see, but a lot of talking. Now, let me get into how this is going to affect him in more detailed. Let me see what else too. Let me see if there's other things dealing with Mercury. Also in the third house could be discussions of travel within the home. So that could be happening too. Just want to throw that tidbit out here because you just never know. Now, Mercury, when it comes in here, it's going to quincunx his MC. I always go like this for a quincunx to make sure that it's really opposing and is scooched over. And when it quincunx, there's misalignment between his public statement and public image. So right off the bat, how he comes across publicly is like, what are you saying? It's almost like the cats and dogs that could be happening. This could be something discussed with his VP. Remember, this is both Kamala and Trump. They're both dealing, all of us are dealing with Mercury in the sign Libra. So there could be something with his business partner, his team, whoever is on his campaign team. But there's something that is making things awkward. This could be a secret relationship that could be making people feel uncomfortable when it comes to his public image. Maybe an adjustment with his communication and his career goals, because this is representing career goals. Potential for misunderstanding or mixed messages, maybe with his social media. That could be happening. Now, it's on top of this. It's conjunct Neptune and Libra. So I'm thinking that there is some type of unclear. Remember, it's retrograding. Remember what I said about retrogrades: secret, 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 shady, shady, shady. Maybe even relationships. Maybe he had a secret lover when he was a child. This could happen in a third house because this represents youthfulness and young and early. Ooh, like a teacher of some sort. Now I'm thinking, like, I wonder, he had some healing here regarding the Libra theme, but also school. I wonder how he was in early education. Anyway, and it's a big wound here that he needs to focus anyway. Yeah, but there's some type of deceptiveness here and some secrets here that is going to immediately come out, and this is going to be around a few more days. So let's see if it's happening already. Now, on the first, we have the Kazemi for him. And when you have that Kazemi here, then there's clarity, and maybe mental clarity for potential verbal conflicts. The debates are going to be very clear. So whatever mess he had here, it's going to get better as it enters here. Tension between emotional expression and being very diplomatic could be happening. Potential for miscommunication and controversies, because anytime you have a conjunction, it could be causing a bigger problem. Maybe something bigger with his VP as well. Now, this conjunction, this Kazemi is still a little bit close to here, but it's separating a little bit. So maybe this secret is going to dissipate by this time. However, is getting close to Chiron of healing. So something healing in regards to VP or regards to a relationship or esteem that needs to be done. And also it's getting bigger. Okay. Jupiter represents big, big, big. Okay. Now I do want to say that the eclipse is happening in his third house, and the eclipse is conjunct some of his planets. So there could be a new beginning or a closure in some type of relationship. Remember, this is a cardinal sign, so a new relationship, but at the same time, eclipsing a relationship. Okay. This eclipse could be affecting him at the end, towards, after this eclipse or a little bit before. I haven't been following the news because I have been out of it. So let me know. I'm wondering if there's anything happening with his VP or happening anything with the communication with his VP. Potential for sudden change in public perceptions, opportunity to redefine his messaging and his narrative could be happening as well. Now, on the 5th, we have a lot of things happening on the 5th for him. Okay. So on the 5th, we have Mercury is sitting on top of Jupiter, and then also it's trining his Uranus here, and 17 degrees, and in Gemini, and then Mercury is also trining, this North Node, because that's all touching each other. Okay. So when you have that, then expansion, the positive part is that there's expansion because Jupiter is involved. Something's going to be big. There could be optimism. Maybe it could be too big, because you are dealing with conjunctions. So it's good and bad, or good or bad. Whatever it is strong. But Jupiter is a positive planet. He is born in a day. So this could be positive for him. Innovative, forward thinking, because you are dealing with this Gemini and communication. Huge, huge, huge. Big communication. Is he going to give an announcement? Okay. That could be happening in regards to his relationship, or to his VP, or to his, about his team. Positive public reception, and potential for significant influence. Okay. Most part is positive, but conjunctions can be negative. I do like talking too much. Okay. Like Trump, be quiet. Now on the 9th here, we have, let me see. Do we have anything on the 9th? Okay, Mercury is going to trine his sun, which I don't know why I didn't say that earlier. Okay, Mercury trining his sun, very positive, 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 positive. Okay, talking with grace, talking with smooth, very articulate, getting clarity and clear thoughts out, especially with the Gemini, especially with his ego and him being a leader and him being a president, ability to articulate ideas clearly and persuasively, positive public persuasion and charisma. Okay. Now it's going to square his Saturn in Cancer, and also this Venus in Cancer. And when you have that, you're challenging restrictions. These are things that are in the 12th house. So it may be hidden, right? That authority figure or something in the long term is challenging the way he talks and the way he communicates. Potential for emotional misunderstandings or conflicts. Venus, when anything, something is dealing with Venus, you're talking about things that you naturally gain support on, and that could be a challenge for what he's saying. Okay, so it's like a love and hate relationship going on here. Tensions between personal desires and public responsibilities. So overall, focus. He's going to have a clear, communicative, and honest messaging. Even if he had it already, some people may not think he's honest, but I think he is being his true self. I think the things that he says, he truly believes them. I think it takes a lot of courage to say, well, she said she was black. I mean, and to the way he says China, even though it comes off racist, he still is truly himself. So that is something I want to say. And that is that Leo energy, that Leo rising. Anyway, but yeah, so a lot of clarity and honest messaging towards the beginning. That solar eclipse, let's see how this affects him, because it is dealing with some planets here for him, not as much Kamala. Also too, as we get more into October, it's positive for him, and there could be some triggering discussions regarding his goals and his public image as well. So, and then towards the end a little bit, we are dealing with some aspects that are not quite positive, and there could be some restrictions, especially when it comes. Cancer could represent home. Cancer could also represent America, home, because that is his America home. Also women, mother. I think his mom died, but something from his past too. So yeah. Now I do want to explain that his secret enemy is fully attacking him. That Mars in Cancer. I'm pretty sure I talked about Mars in Cancer for him. Is going to retrograde. It's going to come in Leo, and he might be more assertive at this time. But and then when it retrogrades, him being a leader is going to look bad. I do want to say that. Okay. Mars also is aggressive and assertive, and secret enemies is what this deals with. We've already gotten assassination twice with him. But you know, this could be happening again. Also, when it's retrograding in the sign Leo, there could be something with his heart. I don't see anything else with health, but when it gets to the degrees, that could be a Virgo degree, and that could be something dealing with his health. Okay, so that is what we have for Mr. Trump and the predictions that we have for Trump. Now let's get into you guys. Okay, we're going to do some horoscopes, and I'm going to take a sip of water. I forgot to do tarot. Actually, let me just do tarot on basically Mercury in Libra, which happens today. And did I say when it ends? I think October 12th. Okay. But I do I have my tarot deck, which is the Bohemian Secrets Tarot. I do want to say Mercury is not retrograding, so that is a blessing. We got Mars retrograding. There's going to be a lot of clarity, new beginnings in clarity, new truths coming out. People are going to be able to speak up, even though we are dealing with this Libra energy, but there's new ideas coming our way for the collective, and new clarity for the collective. A lot of logic, new thoughts, new ideas. Okay, that is great. Creativity amongst all of us. I like that. Okay, now let me see what we have for Kamala. For Kamala, ooh, not doing the best with this Libra energy. I didn't think it was that bad, but let's see. I think her coming off fake, and she's not going to come off as confident. This is someone who's confident. This is the Queen of Brooms in reverse. This is someone who is a leader. Looks like when Mercury is in the sign Libra, she's not coming off as a leader. She's not coming off as strong. So let's see how that is going to affect her. I believe the tarot cards are very honest. Okay. A lot of people calling me. Okay, so then what else do we do? Oh, Trump. Let's do okay, Trump. Trump has some confusion here. And we did have Mercury in Mercury was, let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, Mercury, this planet here, once it turns into Libra, it goes on top of Neptune, which represents confusion. And this card here is saying that he's confused. Too many options, lost in a sauce, cloudy judgment. Okay. So that is going to be happening for Trump. And I said what's happening for, it's very positive for us. So, you know, that's all I care about. Okay. So let's get into the horoscopes for all. And let me pull this up. I do want to say, please, you guys, look at your sun, moon, and rising when you're looking at your horoscopes, because you will get a full reading. If you don't know your rising, if you don't know your moon, that's fine. You can get something off of your sun, because it will talk about what you are physically trying to achieve and thinking and saying to physically achieve things. That is the sun. The moon is representing your emotion aspect and internal. And what are you feeling? Okay. What's making you feel secure? And that is the horoscope for that. Now, the rising, you're like, well, what's the point of the rising? It's the most accurate. And when you put them all three together, I'm telling you right now, you got yourself a free reading. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the Aries. I'm going to start off with Aries. Okay. Me bringing up the chart makes it a little too complicated, because I'm pressing too many buttons. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what I forgot to say Aries. I forgot to say Taurus. So I'm just going to read it off. Okay. And then I'll do the tarot. Okay. First of all, Aries, it's Mercury's moving in your 7th house. That is about partnerships and being diplomatic. Everything that I discussed in this video at the beginning is really your personal reading. Okay. With Mercury entering in the 7th house, your focus turns more about relationships, negotiations, court matters, being fair. and beauty, aesthetics, and partnerships. You're encouraged to find balance and harmony in your interactions. Be mindful of the Mars in Cancer when it squares Mercury on October 5th, as you may have some tensions when it comes to your home responsibilities and relationships. Now, on the 11th, Mercury is going to square Pluto. Remember, that is some power struggles in communication, and that could be happening with your career. Be aware of that. Avoid reacting impulsively, because that's what Mars will want to do, and focus on finding common ground. Now, remember, this is October 11th. October 5th, Mercury is dealing, remember, Mars is retrograding in the sign Cancer. So that aspect is going to be stronger than ever. I should have said that. Okay. Now, this is a card we have for you. You need to persevere. Do not give up. You guys are Aries, so you shouldn't be giving up. You guys do move fast and you always like to start something, but this is someone who's going to persevere. They're going to stay until it ends. Okay. Bandaged up and all. It's like, nah, I'm the last one standing. So be the last one standing with this Mercury in Leo. Okay. I will see you, Libra. I will see you next time. Bye. Taurus. Okay, so this is in your sixth house. Mercury is going to be in your sixth house. You're talking about work and wellness. Mercury in the sixth house emphasizes your work, your daily routines, some co-workers, your work environment, and your health. Is a great time to refine your schedule, make it look better, buy a pretty calendar and decorate it. Also, maybe you're decorating, talking about redecorating your work or something with colleagues. However, or maybe relationships with colleagues too. Mars squaring on October 5th could trigger frustrations between work and communication. Also on the 11th, and remember, Mars is retrograding in the sign Cancer, so it's going to cause some emotions, whatever it is. Keep an eye out on the 11th as Mars squares Pluto in the ninth house, and it will challenge your belief. It will challenge if you're trying to do some traveling and long-term plans. Stay flexible and avoid rigid thinking, okay? Now, we have the card that I call the Neptune card, and this is the Hangman. There could be some cloudy judgment. There could be deception with this Mercury in Libra for you. Be aware of that. Also, think differently. Be flexible. Think outside of the box. And maybe you need to sacrifice something, okay? I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Geminis, this is in your fifth house. Let me make sure. Because I did this while I wasn't feeling the best. So I want to make sure it is accurate. Gemini. Yes. Okay. Fifth house for you, Gemini. Okay. This is about creativity for you and romance. Okay. And Mercury in the sign Libra is going to make you really creative and making something really beautiful, or maybe dressing really beautiful, or self-expression, even romance. This is big, big, big with romance, because you're talking about Libra and romance. So really talking to someone and feeling really romantic, or hanging out with kids and being artistic or creative, or maybe the relationship with your child would be better. The Mars Mercury square on October 5th, Mars starts to pre-shadow retrograde. So there is some major emotional conflicts between your romantic endeavors or desires and financial things. Okay, so be aware of that. October, or what you value. October 11th, when Mercury squares Pluto in the eighth house, there's intense discussions around shared resources, your intimacy, things that are taboo. Yeah, and when you're dealing with Pluto in the eighth house, you already are dealing with some deep, intense things. So maybe an intense conversation that you don't want to have. So be transparent, avoid manipulative tactics. We have stability for you. This is the Four of Brooms. Stability. This is also a wedding. Libra could represent a discussion of a wedding, but there's stability, there's foundations when you have this card. Also with this card, sense of community, okay, and feeling safe. So yeah, celebrations, very, very positive for you guys, especially with that Libra. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Cancers. I'm a Cancer sun. This is all about your home and family. Mercury is in your fourth house, bringing focus on your home and your family, or your mom, or your ancestry, or your past. It's a time for important conversations with your loved ones and finding peace at home. Mars, which will pre-shadow retrograde, will square Mercury October 5th. So you may have some emotional outbursts or disagreements at home. On the 11th, Mercury is going to square Pluto Pluto in the sign Capricorn, which is your 7th house, leading to potential power struggles in partnerships or with an older man. Okay. Practice patience or open communication and navigate these challenges. Now we have Mercury. This is the card for Mercury. This is a magician and it's in reverse. It's like it's retrograding for you guys. You feel like communication is not running smoothly. I do want you to understand that Mars is in your sign Cancer. So this could be affecting a lot of Cancers with communication. So really take your time when communicating. Really, if you can't communicate emotionally, be creative. Okay. Also, maybe because you're dealing with that Mars and Cancer, you should work out, take that aggression out physically. But for the most part, I would say if you cannot communicate in a positive way, I would not say it. I would not share it. And I would try to avoid all conflict. And I would focus my energy on self and in healing the inner self. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leos, this is in your 3rd house of communication and community. And Mercury in that 3rd house is going to put a spotlight on your communication. You are the same as Trump, which I said earlier. This is a great time for networking, learning, communicating, and connecting with others. Now, Mars is going to square pre-shadow phase Mars retrograding October 5th, which could lead some arguments and make someone very emotional. Okay. Understandings with family members or your mom and neighbors or your community or your siblings, that could be happening at home. October 11th, Mercury is going to be squaring Pluto in the 6th house, which could bring some power dynamics to the surface. 6th house is relating to work. So maybe a boss at work could be causing an issue for you. Stay diplomatic. It doesn't have to be a boss. It could be a structure or some type of authority figure. But major power struggles, especially at work. Okay. It could be something with health too. Stay diplomatic. Avoid getting caught up in office politics. We have the 2 of Cups in reverse. This is someone who is dealing with relationships and it's not quite working. Mercury in Libra is relationships. This is off balance for you. I would focus on loving yourself, improving yourself, Leo, okay? And work on the relationship after you have healed yourself within. That is what I have. But this is someone who is not seeing eye to eye. You guys are not valuing the same things. You need to be aware that not everyone's going to see eye to eye to you. Also, try to work on being controlling, trying to control others in a relationship. Okay. Be aware of that. Okay. I will see you guys next time. People should live free. So live free. All right. I mean, you shouldn't control other people. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, Virgos, let's see what we have. This is about finances and values. Mercury is going to enter your 2nd house and turning your thoughts towards money. What do you value? Your resources, maybe even personal values. Okay, it's a good time to review your finances and align them with your priorities, especially if it comes to beauty and aesthetics. Are you spending too much on makeup? Okay, October 5th, Mars, which will be in shadow retrograde phase, okay, is going to square Mercury. So we're dealing with some emotions here, okay, Virgos, and you guys are not very emotional risings, but anyway, potentially causing tension around spending and investments. That could be happening for you. Now, October 11th, Mercury is going to square Pluto in that 5th house. So highlighting control issues related to your children, creativity, your true self. Could be a romance partner too, especially with Libra aspect. Keep your integrity intact and avoid some power struggles. We have collaboration. You need to learn from the young. You need to collaborate with a group. Okay. It's not all about yourself. This is a collaboration. This is a team effort. So go ahead and work as a team. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Libras, this is all about you. You got that Mercury in Libra. Happy solar return for you guys coming up, but this is in your 1st house. So this is all about your identity. And now you are communicating more than ever about your true self. You are likely to feel more social or more charming. People are naturally talking to you. That Mars retrograding in the sign Cancer, because it's pre-shadow phase, is going to square that Mercury in that 1st house. So a lot of discussions about your public persona and private emotions could be happening. Be aware of that. Try to avoid the conflict. On October 11th, Mercury squares Pluto in the fourth house, and it's bringing tensions with your family and your home matters or things from your past or your mom. Strive for balance and avoid reacting defensively. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune talks about what comes around goes around. So be aware of the karma from your past coming to bite you if it is biting you, but also too, this is about ups and downs, and life is constantly moving and constantly has ups and downs. So embrace the downs just as much as you embrace the ups. Just know that this is life and it's going to keep moving. Nothing is stagnant. Okay, so if you are feeling sad, know that the sadness will turn into happiness, because nothing is permanent in this life. Life is constantly changing. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Scorpios, this is in your 12th house, Mercury in Libra, introspection and healing. Okay, Mercury in that 12th house is all about keeping the words to yourself, and you may not be saying the things that you want to say. Maybe you're doing a lot of journaling. Maybe you are really reflecting. It's a time for introspection and dealing with the subconscious issues. Now, Mars is going to square Mercury, and it's going to be post shadow retrograding at Mars. This is dealing with a lot of emotions, maybe some hidden frustrations to the surface, a lot of insecurities and aggression with the insecurities, possibly related to health or daily routines. Now, on the 11th, Mercury with that Pluto square in your third house could spark some intense, possibly harsh conversations. Choose your words wisely and carefully and avoid unnecessary conflict. We have the moon in reverse, okay? This is someone who's like, the moon will represent that emotions, okay? And this is someone who is either too fearful, a lot of fear, or lacking. The insecurity is so intense. Or this is someone who's like, I'm going to, I'm at a pause because I'm trying to see that 12th house and secrets. It makes me think that the fear and the secrets are not positive. Okay, and it's going to cause a lot of emotion, Scorpio. Okay, stop getting too dark, stop getting too deep. You know how someone says I'm alone versus I love solitude? That has to change. Okay, now usually the moon in the upright could be a little negative, but I'm thinking, so when it's in reverse, it's like it'd be positive, but my intuition is saying that it's not positive. Okay, so get out of the rut. Try not to be emotional. Don't live in fear. Okay, because I feel like it's too internal for you, and you probably need to discuss with someone who can balance that Libra energy and bring more harmony into your life. So I would not keep it too internal. I would discuss some things. Okay, because Scorpios, you guys like to keep things to yourself. Maybe release that. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, this is in your 11th house of friends and aspirations. You're talking about your future goals and technology and science and astrology, networks, social friendships. Yeah, hopes and dreams. It's a great time to collaborate and communicate with like-minded individuals. Now, the Mars in Cancer is going to pre-shadow retrograde in the sign Cancer, and it's going to square Mercury October 5th. So this might lead to conflicts between personal desires and group expectations, or with some friendships. Be aware of that. Maybe some friends within a home. October 11th, Mercury, that Pluto square, and it's in Capricorn, in your second house, could bring power struggles related to money and resources within your social circle. Be aware of that. Maintain your integrity and stand up for firm what you value. Now we have, I call this card a Sagittarius card, and it's in reverse. This is a Temperance. This is someone who brings harmony and balance. They're an alchemist, and they're going to mix a little bit to feel better. Okay, you are not practicing harmony and balance. You're doing too much, and it's overcoming something. Okay, be aware of leading on too many friendships and relationships. Maybe you need to focus on yourself. You're probably going to learn that with this Mercury and Libra, okay? But there's something that's off balance, and Libra is supposed to bring the harmony, and you're overdoing something. So be aware of doing too much, over committing, over promising, over accepting, overdoing something. Just know that overly optimistic, okay? That's what that card represents. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Capricorns. This is Oh, in your 10th house. And this is going to be about your public image and your career, spotlight on your career, your reputation. And it's going to be looking good. Okay. It's a great time to strategically plan, communicate. Libra is the air sign, it's all about communication. So go ahead and do that. Now, Mars is going to be in the sign Cancer. It's going to pre-shadow retrograde in that sign, and it's going to square Mercury October 5th. So there could be tensions between your career ambitions and your home life. Be aware of that. Now, on the 11th, Mercury is going to square Pluto, and you're talking about your first house. And Pluto is in your first house, and that is a lot of power struggles of the self. Okay, bringing potential conflicts related to your personal authority and professional life. Avoid power plays and strive for being authentic and being your true self. Now we have a transformation that's supposed to be happening, but it's not happening for you. Why are you not changing? I'm like, are all these cards in reverse? Why are you not willing to heal? Okay, Capricorns, there needs to be some healing happening. Let me pull up and see. I feel like I sound like Rihanna. Pull up. Okay, Capricorns. Let me see what this healing is. Yeah, there needs to be some type of healing when it comes to your relationships here, okay? There needs to either be a healing, a transformation. Something dark is happening and you need to bring it to the surface. You're keeping some skeletons, okay? The death card is not literally something's dying, it's a rebirth of something. So it's like the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly, but you're staying as the caterpillar. You're not becoming a butterfly. Be aware of that. This could be something, because this is Mercury and Libra, this is something dealing with relationships or something that you need to let go in a past relationship. Okay. So be aware of that. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, this is in your 9th house. You're talking about higher learning, you're talking about travel, you're talking about faith, you're talking about religion, and you're talking about philosophy. And Mercury in Libra is here to explore all that and communicate. Maybe there's some curiosity. Maybe studying or philosophical pursuits are happening here. Now that Mars square Mercury is going to happen, Mars will be pre-shadow retrograding, and it's going to trigger some conflicts with your daily responsibilities. It's going to trigger some conflicts with who you are and your routine. And when it comes to the broader ambitions, like, okay, your coworkers are like, nah, you can't. No, you can't travel. That could be a thing and could be causing some conflict. On the 11th, Mercury is going to square Pluto in that 12th house. This can bring some hidden fears to the subconscious, block related themes when it comes to your personal belief. Reflect on holding could reflect some reflection could be holding you back, okay? And you probably need to seek some clarity. Now, we have here someone who's holding something tight and it's in reverse. So there is some releasing of some physical items. Maybe there's aesthetic things and you're letting it go. So like maybe you're someone who's like, you know what? I am not, maybe you're spending too much. I hope not. Maybe you're okay. That could be happening. Okay. That just came to me. Like you're just like, I'm going to spend it all, F it all. That could be happening. Be aware of that because that Mercury in Libra is about the aesthetics and buying a lot of things. Be careful of that. At the same time, this is someone who's like, I don't care. I'm going to release it all. And let's see how that plays out, especially when it comes to your philosophy and your higher learning and your faith. Okay. Let me pull another card because I don't like that. We have someone who, so you're going to let go of the grief. You're going to let go of the sadness. You're not going to be worried anymore. It's very positive, actually. So it's very optimistic. This is someone who used to grieve on a loss of something, maybe a loss of a relationship, or maybe a loss of a court justice or something like that, some fairness. And now you're deciding to, you know what, I'm just going to let it go. Maybe someone who was getting a divorce didn't get the money, or something with court, with child support didn't get the money, or you were suing someone, didn't get money, and now you're releasing it. Very positive for you guys. Let go of that negative energy. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces. This is in your 8th house, and 8th house is very intense. Okay, you're dealing with taboo things. You're dealing with tarot. You're dealing with rebirth. You're dealing with transformation and shared resources. Now, Mercury in your 8th house, your thoughts turn to deep matters such as shared finances, transformation, getting therapy. It's a time to be honest and discuss about your resources and your joint ventures. Now, Mars is going to pre-shadow retrograde in the sign Cancer the same day that it's going to square Mercury in that deep, intense house. So there could be conflicts about your shared resources and power dynamics and relationships on the 11th, and it could be causing some emotions, okay? Because Cancer is very emotional. Now, overly emotional when it's retrograding. Now, on the 11th of October, Mercury is going to square Pluto in your 11th house, highlighting issues of control or power within your social circles, friendships and networking, and your future hopes and dreams, even technology and social media. Okay. Approach sensitive topics with caution and avoid manipulation. Now, we have here someone who is giving and receiving. Okay. This could be dealing with that 8th house placement here. And when it comes to shared finances, maybe you need to give to receive. Okay. Be charitable. Okay. While you are dealing with Libra aspects, because Libra wants harmony for all. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. And yes, like I said, the next video will be about October, monthly October, the month of October transits. Is it October? Yes, because I'm kind of late on that. So, and then also October tarot reading for the month. And then if you are in my group, you're going to get that video first. I'm going to give you the calendar with all the aspects and break it down for you. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye.